everybody. Welcome to Phonogenics 101, Episode 9. Tonight, we are going to talk about Madonna's second album. I'm here with my Madonna panel, and we're going to talk about Madonna's second album, Like a Virgin. Before I introduce our panel tonight, I'd like to thank my Patreon subscribers. We have Riatron here, who's one of my Patreon subscribers. And my goal was to stop waiting tables and to supplement my income by doing my passion projects, which is discussing music, doing open mics, and recording my music. So if you are interested in supporting for the price of a cup of coffee a month, even $1, go to patreon.com/Jeremy Gloff. Back to the program. Tonight, we're going to talk Like a Virgin. We have Jeffrey D from LA.
Hello.
We have David from Orlando, correct?
From Miami, actually.
Oh, you're in Miami. Excuse me.
Yes.
Eric in New Orleans.
Hello.
Jeff X in Orlando. And I'm Jeremy Gloff in Tampa, Florida. And if you're watching this, make sure to subscribe to Phonogenics 101. I'm on all social media, so let's all be friends and just talk Madonna all the time, because that's all I want to do. So before we get into the album, I'm going to talk a little bit about the first time that I experienced Like a Virgin. I was in my third grade class, Mrs. Foster, and these kids were sitting in the desks behind me, and they were whispering. They're like, "Oh my God, did you see Madonna on TV last night? She said the word virgin on this TV show, and she was rolling around." All the third graders were talking about it. And that, of course, was the day after the legendary MTV Video Music Awards. It caused a stir in Fredonia Elementary School. So all the kids were freaking out. They couldn't believe this performance. Of course, we all knew Madonna from Lucky Star Borderline. But I don't think there's any disputing that she completely took it to the next level with Like a Virgin. So I went to the record store and I bought the vinyl. And this was the first full-length Madonna album I bought. And it was interesting because I remember I had my little Fisher-Price record player. And I remember hearing Material Girl before it was released as a single, because I bought it in that window between Like a Virgin and Material Girl being a single. And I remember the first time I heard that song thinking, like, this is a hit song. Even though I was only like 9 years old. Like I knew a hit song when I heard one. So, the record, I have it right here. The first album was black and white. This kind of had a, what is that called? How do you pronounce it? Sepia? Sepia. I can read words. I don't know how to pronounce them. But the cool thing was he had to flip to get to the back cover. So I always thought that was weird. I'm like, gotta flip. The album was dedicated to all the virgins of the world, which I thought was cool. We have this beautiful picture of Madonna on the inside.
My favorite.
Yes. So I heard the Like a Virgin album. The first time I heard it, I feel like my life changed forever. Here I am sitting here at 46, and I don't think my life was ever the same after the first time I heard this album. So let's go around the circle and everyone else share the first time they heard the song or the album or whatever. Let's start with Jeffrey D.
I mean, I remember, one of the first times I ever sang like the song with the word girl in it, and like not caring about the gender, that I'm not a girl, and singing it like when Material Girl came out.
Right.
Game-changing album and huge. I mean, every song as it got released, you're like, this is gonna be a huge hit, and she was so massive. And just as you were saying that about the word virgin, it's interesting how far we've come, because this album was so controversial. I mean, the cover, the MTV performance, I mean, and now it's like, that's nothing. So
David, what was your favorite album?
I remember having the cassette and then playing it on the way down from Jersey to Miami when I moved as a kid. So that really was big. And for me, the whole summer, my first summer in Miami, was all that whole album. It was just like Angel and over on repeat, left and right. Rewind, play again, rewind, play again, rewind, play again. And then, of course, I didn't know how big she was. She was big to me, but I didn't really know she was big until like I was watching Alvin and the Chipmunks and the Chipettes did Material Girl. And I was like, oh, my bitch has made it if they're doing her song on there. So that's always one of my biggest memories of Material Girl.
All right, Riatron, what's your first memory of Like a Virgin?
It's a little bit different. We didn't have MTV when I was growing up here. So, I didn't really see a lot of Madonna stuff until later, but I have a distinctive memory of discovering Madonna, Madonna's later music. We were at what you would call the State Fair. We call it the X, and riding rides and stuff. And they had a lot of the hits from Like a Virgin just on repeat as we were riding the rides. And I remember hearing Angel and hearing that just that voice and just being so intrigued. It was probably one of the first artists that I sought out. Right, that I said to my older sister, I want to find out more about this singer. I want to buy this record. I want to have this at home. So yeah, it's kind of my memory. I remember, and for some strange reason, I didn't associate some of the songs like Angel and Over and those songs with like the Like a Virgin and Material Girl. It was almost like those two songs were sort of separate. And I didn't realize for a while until I actually got the album that it was the same artist that sang those.
Wow. All right. What you just said I had to leave the room for a second. But Eric, do you want to tell about the first time you heard Like a Virgin? I will return with something.
Well, I didn't remember. I wish I was born in the 70s to see her career grow as an artist where, during the Like a Virgin MTV era. So I didn't see that performance until the 1990s because I was born in 81. And I remember seeing like the videos on VH1 when they used to play music videos,
Oh yeah.
But they don't do that anymore. And I didn't know who this woman was until I found out later, like in the 90s, that it was the same lady, because she would always change her face. And that's what it finally, I was really, really attracted to that. And I think my favorite song on the album is Angel.
Oh, that's
but what really sucks is she put a single out for it, but there's no video to it. But I love the cover because it was made in Hawaii during the Herbert's Virgin era, where they took the photo shoot for the
tour book, right?
Yeah.
All right, Jeff
and
X.
Those are really good photos. I love that era, that whole era with Herbert's. Sit down.
It'll be interesting to get your perspective, Eric, because we all lived it when it came out, and then you didn't get to hear it until years later. Sort of like in our generation, David Bowie had Ziggy Stardust 10 years before we were all born. And then, Let's Dance was like our first exposure, but the people that like Ziggy Stardust hate Let's Dance because it's pop. So
I really like it. I really like it.
It'll be interesting because basically like you kind of came in at the very tail end of Madonna being like, where everybody loved every single thing she did.
Anyway. All right, Jeff X, what's your first Like a Virgin?
I saw the video. We didn't have cable back then, so there was a local TV channel that a lot of people had around the States. It was called V66, and it was like a video channel. It was like an MTV knockoff, and it was not cable. So V66, and we had that channel, and they would play all, everything that was being played at that time. So, and they actually played the Like a Virgin video. And that's the first time I saw that video and heard that song.
Very cool.
So I have my Virgin tour book here. And then more importantly, I totally forgot about this, from the State Fair, my Like a Virgin mirror.
I have that. I have two of them. Two different covers.
You had to pop a balloon to win this thing. And when I was a kid,
I brought mine on eBay.
I also won the t-shirt, but my mom made them X out the Like a Virgin, so it was only the picture, because she didn't want me to wear that to, third or fourth grade. So I don't have the shirt anymore. I just have the mirror still.
What year? Do you know what year you brought that glass thing you have right there?
Yeah, 84. So it was
84.
during this era.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I bet that tour book probably cost $10, but that book alone is probably worth $200 now. I wish if I was born in the 70s, I would have brought maybe 100 of those books and sell them.
I know. And one more little find. Finally, after searching for this for years, I found the copy of Rock magazine that I used to have when I was a kid. So I just put that on my Instagram today.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Nice.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
It took me forever to find it. And I had to pay a little bit for it, but I have like a list of like 26 things that I'll pay anything for. So I see them, I'm just like, I don't even look at the price. I'm just like, buy. Like it doesn't matter if I can't eat for a month.
And what did that run?
$50.
That's not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad.
I'm like, not
bad
a
at all.
problem at all. Not a problem. Okay. Like a Virgin, the album. So I had a little Fisher Price record player. The needle went down and in came the beat for Material Girl. And now, of course, Madonna did not write Material Girl, but it is one of her signature songs. And I feel like it's unlike any other song she really sang. And honestly, I can't think of any other song that really even sounds like that by anybody. Like it's very 80s. It's such a unique song. What does everyone think of Material Girl?
I
mean,
like
the
it.
video's amazing.
Yeah, the video especially.
It's
Even
so
though,
fun.
like later on, you learn that it was, completely influenced by Marilyn Monroe, sort of even a ripoff to some extent. But I mean, she made it her own, and everybody, took from the greats from before them. So,
Yeah, it's funny that a lot of Madonna's stuff references previous art, right? And she sort of does a twist on it to make it her own. But it's kind of funny that when she sees other artists do that today, like Lady Gaga, she's sort of offended by it, right? It's weird.
yeah, and like as Jeremy and I are big Prince fans, Prince sort of went against his early, ethos, and like at the end, it's like totally opposite of how he used to be, and you're like, what? So it happens.
This is one of those songs that Madonna did like the rock version too, like in one of her later tours, right? Because then
I think it was the Sweet and Sticky tour.
Yeah, she did. Which I was never a huge fan. Like I like the
No,
pop.
me either. I don't like that tour either. I just like Vogue because the production was really small. I've seen the tour 3 times in 3 different cities, and everything was tiny. It wasn't like a big production. But I mean, it made money. I mean, she did it in 2008 and 2009. I mean, she went to Europe and did more shows.
And she did look hot on that tour. We must
she
say.
did.
She did what?
She looked hot on that tour.
Yeah.
I loved her look. So here we have also my here's the Material Girl 12-inch single. So that's the remix. And back then, a remix was just like the original song just extended by 3 or 4 minutes with some echoes and some sounds in it. So I kind of miss the extended 80s version. Those were the days.
I don't think the 12-inch version of Material Girl is particularly great, unfortunately, but
It has that weird clapping sound.
I liked the 12-inch version of Angel.
Yeah.
Oh my God, yes.
And David already
yeah.
said that he's going to be talking about that. So I can't really think of much more to say about Material. I know Madonna like disowns it now, and
Yeah, she.
Well,
That
it's
one-
not really. How disowned is it when she performed it in the Rebel Heart tour?
and she named it her daughter's clothing line after it, right? Or
Exactly. And like, I can understand. The bitches had that nickname for decades.
Yeah,
Like,
this
and
song,
it's not only American people, because she's still called it whenever they talk about her in the Spanish news, she's still called La Chica Dorada, which or la Chica Material. And I'm like, girl, it's been 35 years. Come on, give it a rest.
But she hates it.
Yeah, I think the reason she hates it is because it's less to do with the song. It's the image of she doesn't want to be seen as being all about money, right? Like she
better delete her Instagram then.
yeah, exactly.
She like
My staff made all my videos.
Exactly.
She's kind of said she wanted to be famous, but like being wealthy or rich wasn't something that was a real goal of hers when she started as an artist.
Right.
So I think it just bothers her that she's so associated now because of that song with being, a rich artist, right?
She could change the lyric to "I'm a spiritual girl."
Oh yeah, yeah. She doesn't like the whole materialistic thing about it. I know there was something I'm sure you guys have seen when she said, "If I knew I was still gonna be called that, like so many years later, I would have never released that song."
I remember I was trying to break up with this guy that I was hanging out with, and I said to my friends, he thinks he can impress me with expensive gifts. I just like in the Material Girl video. I was just like,
Oh, as a kid, I would sit in my mom's car and be like this. Because she did it in the video, and I'm gonna do it in the video. I'm gonna do it in my car at all times. I was
oh, yes.
save me from
Well,
this child.
My cousins and I would call it Cheerio Girl. Like Cheerios, Mama Cheerios, Mama Cheerios, and we'd walk around, dance around with the Cheerio box.
Aw.
So
We're now missing an opportunity.
Love the part in the video where she smacks the guy with their
Oh, the fan?
Her fan, yeah.
Like right on the beat too.
Yeah. All right.
Jeremy,
Well,
do you know Madonna Collector Holic on Instagram?
I think so, yes.
He's got the biggest Madonna collection in the world, and he's got the original Madonna Material Girl bracelet in his collection.
Oh, wow.
If you go to his page, you can see it.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
I think I have like the 15,000th biggest collection. I still have tons of stuff, but
Well, I see some of the big buttons from the tour behind you.
yes, there's my buttons. I do have all the tour books, and this year I collected all the sheet music. So I have the sheet music books.
Oh, I collect sheet music too.
Yeah. I just paid freaking $50 for the Santa Baby sheet music. That's the last thing I needed.
I don't think I've ever seen that one.
Yeah, I think it's pretty rare. All right. So any other thoughts on Material Girl before we move on?
I thought it was a fun track. I always thought it was fun. It was bubbly. It was hyper in a way, like in a fun, hyper pop bubbly way. Like I just loved it. That's all I gotta say.
I do have to say, Nile Rodgers' production on this album was such a like perfect evolution after the first album. Like he did kind of bring in an organic sound. You know, it didn't sound like any of his stuff with Chic or even his stuff with Diana Ross or even his stuff with David Bowie. I felt like his production on this album, it kind of has that guitar like ding, 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 which I don't even know what to call it. But big props to Nile Rodgers for. I think his production had a lot to do with the success of this album and propelling Madonna into that stratosphere. Because I think if she would have used the same producers as the first album.
This has a totally different sound than the first album.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the first album is such a New York 80s pop, disco-y, underground club kind of sound. And this is like so much more like mature. I mean, they obviously knew that this was going to be huge because, I mean, it's like that song still sounds amazing to this day.
Can you imagine sitting on this album like it's recorded and not released? Because she did. Wasn't this finished? But the singles from the first album kept charting, so they had to sit on this album for a while.
She was impatient. She was like I'm happy my songs are charting, but I want to hurry up and be done with this so I can start releasing the new stuff.
No, can you imagine having to wait to release this album? Like she had to have known this was going to be a huge album because it sounds like a huge album the first time you hear it.
I echo what Jeffrey D just said, that the first album, in comparison, the first album was very gritty. You know, it's very New York, very gritty, and
even the cover art, like the sepia or whatever, however the fuck you pronounce it, compared to like the black and white of the first album, she kind of had like a little bit of a harsh street kind of look, and here it's like, come hither,
harlot.
And being a gay, well, you know what? I'm not going to say this. That's not politically correct. But I will say,
who cares? Say it.
All right, I will say it. Them titties look good.
Them titties are perched. They are in there.
You know what I mean? Like
that is a cute look.
I think it's okay for gays to say because it's more of an admiration instead of like, oh, I want to touch those.
Yeah, I don't want to touch them.
No, I still want to touch them. I'm a horrible gay.
But like this is perfection. And that book that just came out, the Madonna Adore, with the pictures that just got leaked, and
it's sold out too.
I know. Did you see the video I made? I made a video of me singing Justify, sending me a copy of Adore. I'll have to send it to anyone who hasn't seen it. But I sent it to the author. I'm like, wanting, needing, waiting for a copy of Adore. Like, take my money, print one more, take my money, because I need that in my collection. Those pictures are so hot.
You know, it's so funny because I'll talk to some of my younger friends and I go, "This is my Madonna.
Yeah.
Y'all didn't live through this. This is my Madonna. This is my bitch. This is why she turned out to what she is now."
Because my friend Oki and I, we always joke, like kids these days, they don't know the history of Madonna. So they kind of see her as like someone older. The things they say, like they don't know that Madonna or this Madonna. So,
but I mean, and she broke down so many doors that now people don't even take, they take it for granted. But I mean, she fought for every little thing. And I mean, it's weird because there was, that period of time where we were hearing these songs for the first time as they were brand new. It was like, and everybody was like, holy shit. I think a lot of the songs on this album charted like forever. I mean, weren't a lot of these like huge charting hits for like a long periods of time.
And I view Madonna as untouchable. Like nobody will ever be on her level, in my opinion, as far as like pop.
It's because she's such a pioneer, right? Nobody could be the first again. Like actually, this album kind of invented, I don't know how else to say it, but white girl dance pop, right? It's like before this, there was nothing quite like that, right?
No.
And she it was like the I think all of the artists that are popular today, the Britney Spears, and from Britney Spears all the way down the line, right? You've got they kind of owe it to this album, right? It's that this even the style of touring of creating costumes rather than traditional clothing, right? I mean, Madonna's really a drag queen, we all know that, right? And
she'll admit that too.
Yeah, she kind of started all of that, and she inadvertently created a genre through her art.
Oh, we have somebody joining us too. Cool. So we only did one song.
Louis here.
Hello?
Louis. He's a huge music enthusiast.
Oh, if we can unmute.
Louis is a friend of yours, Jeff?
Louis, we see you, but we can't hear you.
Yeah.
You got to unmute.
Okay, we are back. We are here to talk about song number 2 on Like a Virgin. Here we have the 12-inch single, Angel. Now, the first time I heard this song,
yes,
I'm like, this is the best song ever. I still feel that way. What is it, 40 years later? I don't want to talk about it. I have 2 versions of the 12-inch. I have the American one that has Into the Groove. And then I have this European one that has the original album mix of Burning Up. So this is how I got that original version of Burning Up in my collection.
Hold on. Louis needs to unmute.
Oh. There he is.
There he goes.
I mean, what can we say about Angel? It's so
underrated.
Romantic,
underrated.
Bro. Like it's just like a soft pillow. It's very dreamy. It's perfect.
I like her vocals. It's just everything's on point. It's perfect. I mean, the photo, everything. I mean, it's perfect. I wish you would sing that one live also.
Oh, yeah. Child, don't we all?
Me too.
It's not a rock version though. Don't do the rock version.
No.
Did she ever do the song after the Virgin tour?
No, nope. I don't think so.
Nope.
Do you guys remember the Courtney Love interview where she's talking about Madonna with the guitar? She's wearing her fucking wooden necklace. So me and my friend Oki always joke like, I don't need the wooden necklace version of Angel. I don't need it. If she's gonna do it, I want to hear like the straight up pop, Like a Virgin synth pop version.
Yeah.
Before we get into talking about Angel, though, it has to be said that this is the first appearance of the Cher voice on this album that we talked about.
The Cher voice, yes.
Madonna's Cher voice comes out in this album.
Yeah, you're an angel. I can see it in your eyes.
Oh god.
That's actually funny. I've like thought about that over the years, but like never really like you like have like a whole term for it. It's like that's pretty funny.
Oh.
So Angel didn't get a video because Into the Groove was released as a single around the same time, correct?
Not here in the States though.
Well, that's
everywhere else. They didn't want to release.
So that's why the vinyl was only released in Europe, right? Oh, now okay. Because I had to buy the CD and the import for it. Everything was in Europe. Okay.
Now the video was on MTV constantly for Into the Groove, but it was not released as a commercial single. That's right.
Correct.
But
it was on the B side of the vinyl, which ended up going gold.
Right. And you couldn't get Into the Groove on CD until You Can Dance came out, I don't think.
Correct. No, the soundtrack was out though.
Yeah, but the soundtrack didn't have any, it was just instrumental, I believe.
Oh, damn. Oh, okay.
Because I actually have it. It's just like that music when they're chasing each other at the pier.
I would say that Into the Groove, I listen to more still to this day. I mean, that's probably my favorite song of like her early period. I mean, I loved, and I still do. When I hear it, I want to hear it like 5 times in a row.
It's interesting because they tacked on Into the Groove into some European pressings of Like a Virgin. And I'm never one to like add songs. I'm a big fan of the album art form. Like they added Into the Groove to this, just like they added American Pie to music.
Because Into the Groove was her first major hit in Europe. Huge hit. It was her first #1 in the UK charts. So they were like, well, let's capitalize on the success of this song and add it to the album.
Now, how many of you have ever been at a club and you dance like this, pretending you're Into the Groove?
I did it at my house. I think I did it today.
Like in the club, only the club? No, everywhere.
Or you have the fan in the rest.
Yes, that and when you every time I see the air, thing to dry your hands in the public bathroom, I think of that. And I've a couple of times I have done the little thing when nobody's looking.
Whenever I run into Penn Station, I'm reenacting that scene though.
Aw. So can you imagine if there would have been a music video for Angel? I kind of wish there was, but I kind of like that the song Can Take Me Somewhere, because Madonna songs you associate so closely with the videos. I think it's cool that Angel you had to create your own visual for. So part of me likes that, and then part of me, of course, wishes we had that iconic video. What would she have done?
Me too.
I agree.
In my head, it's similar to like Borderline. In my head, like not the guy in the spray paint. I'm just saying like when she's with the Latin guy. That's the visual I have in my head when she's Angel. It's the city, cute Latin guy, that kind of thing. Like that's what I have in my head as far as the video for her.
Now, David, didn't you want to talk about the extended version?
Now, let me tell you, I was fine with having no video because that remix, that extended version is everything. We played it out so much at the summer camp, like there was no tomorrow. We were screaming,
Madonna.
And I still play that today, hardcore. That's on repeat at least 6 times.
Yeah. Did they have Walkmans in the 80s? Did they have Walkmans in the 80s to like listen to?
Oh yeah.
I don't know what year it came out.
80s, I think.
Early 80s.
You would have to like tape like Madonna would have like or whoever would have like all these different singles, and so you'd have to like tape one song and then change the record and put it away in the little sleeve and keep it nice and not like from the collector standpoint, from people that are like messy, they just like throw it everywhere. But like all my friends, I go over to their house and their collection's all fucked up and everything's all torn, and mine's like in rows and like nice.
I cover everything in mine in plastic.
Just like that couch in the photo shoot that they just released. On Louis, we haven't talked to you yet. Do you have any thoughts on Madonna Angel?
He's on mute. Oh, there he is.
I chatted with Jeff briefly yesterday via message. I liked Madonna early on, but didn't really fall in love until Into the Groove. So it's immediately like 2 seconds after Angel.
Okay.
But I do remember them being on the radio simultaneously. Into the Groove was more dancey for me. It took me years to get into You're an Angel because it was sonically it wasn't as dancey. It was like more new wave. It was
ethereal.
It took me years to appreciate it.
The only other thing in Madonna's catalog that is even similar to Angel might be the demo version of Stay. Is it?
That's my favorite. We'll get into that.
We'll get into that. No. Let's not jump. We get into that soon.
But that whole ethereal thing. And since we're on the topic, Angel and Into the Groove were on the radio at the same time, but I believe that Crazy for You was out at the same time also from Vision Quest.
Yeah.
There was an oversaturation on Madonna.
Yeah, there was a lot of.
But yet she was like huge, and I think that's probably what caused her to be as big as she is, because like every single thing she was doing was awesome, and everybody loved it.
Did you guys like Crazy for You? I guess as a side.
I do.
Of course. And
Absolutely.
Gambler.
Didn't like it at first, and then like pretty quickly on, I started to love it. I like
wait,
fast
Jeffrey
Madonna
D.
better than slow.
Wait, Jeffrey D. Which one you didn't like at first? Crazy for
Crazy
You?
for You. Yeah, I like it now.
What about Gambler though, everybody?
Oh,
I like it
that was my
also.
jam.
Yeah,
That's
it's
the
a good
best.
I
song.
like Gambler.
The best.
To me, it has that very new wave, you know,
That cowbell, like the Maniac?
kind of like Burning Up in a way. Like it just, when I hear it, I just think of like the Carlton dance, Gambler.
Yes, exactly. That's why I was like this. I was like, yes.
I'll be taking my chances on you.
There we go.
You know what interesting thing about this era, and I was thinking about Crazy for You as well. Madonna was kind of, you know, throwing back to like the 1950s a lot, right? She had her Marilyn Monroe throwback in the Material Girl video, and you know, like the phrase "crazy for you" is kind of a 1950s, you know, kind of thing. And I think, you know, she was really fascinated by a lot of the icons in that era. And I suppose at that moment in the 80s, that was sort of a fad too, right? Like, you know, David Bowie was doing a little bit of that. But it's interesting, you know, how much in, you know, 1950s kind of got into this Madonna era.
Yeah, David Bowie kind of had the greaser thing going on with Let's Dance for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Both produced by Nile Rodgers, interestingly enough.
And then, you know, to piggyback on the 50s sound, you know, Shooby-Doo is coming up in a
Oh,
little
girl.
bit. So that's
Can't skip ahead though. Don't scootily debop ahead. Nope. All right. Track number 3. Written by Tom Kelly and Bill Steinberg, a songwriting team that also brought us True Colors by Cyndi Lauper, I'll Stand By You by The Pretenders. They wrote a lot of hit songs. And originally, this was demoed with a male singing. Wasn't this originally written for a male to sing? And then somehow it made its way to Madonna. I heard the demo version, and it's very interesting. It's pretty close to actually the version we hear lyrically. How many other songs can you think of that sound like a Virgin? I mean, maybe Billie Jean has that bass line a tiny bit, because didn't she combine them in the Virgin tour?
Yeah.
which is in the background as we see.
Yeah.
And it's was supposed to be a ballad too, wasn't it supposed to be a ballad? Yeah.
I think this is the first, like, you know, one of the things I love about Madonna's earlier work, and you don't see it as much in her current stuff, is like she had a really good sense of humor. And you always saw, like, you know, when you think of songs like Into the Groove, like everybody kind of got the nuance of what she was referring to there, right? You know, and you could just tell that she found this stuff hilarious, right? So, you know, at some point she heard this song that somebody else wrote, and the first thing that occurred to her was how hilarious it would be if she sang the song Like a Virgin. She got the joke before any of us even knew it, right? And she could, you know, she sort of pictured this, you know, slutty image that she liked to portray, singing Like a Virgin, and knew that it would just be, you know, kind of funny at the same time as artful, right? And that was like the first time I really noticed her sense of humor, and I've loved that about her. She is always a little bit of tongue in cheek in everything she does.
And I do agree, like that kind of like wistfulness, even like the romantic kind of thing, maybe didn't carry over to her more recent music. And I love that like sense of humor she had about herself that carried way onto her career. Like it didn't last for a long time.
She's still like that. She's still like that.
Well, it didn't translate onto Madam X, but I'd like like, you know, we'll talk, that'll be months from now, but you know, she's a very serious artist on the album. But I miss her being like a little bit more loose in the actual music.
Yeah.
So, Like a Virgin, here we are on a gondola. You know, she's bending over under the bridge, the lions in the video. Many times, whenever I'm on a boat, I pretend I'm in the Like a Virgin video.
Took a picture on that bridge in I think it's in Venice, I think.
Yeah, but you were on that bridge. You're on the Like a Virgin bridge.
Yes, I have a picture somewhere. I have a picture of me in front of it because, of course,
Oh, wow.
like you could look it up back then and find the little spot because it's like some really popular spot.
Now, this is one of the times she's done the song on many, many tours and reinvented the song. And I love many of the different versions of this. I love the Blonde Ambition with the comb bras and the Egyptian kind of aesthetic. I didn't mind the girly show. It's Marlena Dietrich, right? Like a virgin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that. My favorite probably is Confessions Tour.
Oh yeah.
That was a hot like a hot modern version of this song that I think could have been a hit if she released it as a single.
I agree.
That was a great reinvention.
Did you was it this song that she did on the Rebel Heart tour? I saw it in I haven't actually never watched the tour video to see if she did it differently. I think it was this song. Where is this the one where she was just by herself on the stage dancing and stuff? So I just remember it struck me as like she was sort of making almost kind of like mocking the pop stars of today. So like she was singing like a virgin, but almost sort of like acting over the top, super girly. And she might have been a little drunk. I'm not 100% sure. But I just remember while she was singing it, she was like squealing, like doing stuff I've never seen Madonna do,
Really?
and like shaking her shoulders and talking about her tits and stuff. And it was it struck me as like she was like going for irony, right? She was almost like she was mocking, the today's version of the pop star, just the way she was doing it. So it was another interesting reinvention there of that song.
And I almost forgot another really good one was when she did it as a kind of a cabaret ballad on the MDNA tour.
She did. She did.
She was like asking the audience for money. That was very deep. I thought that like here she was. How many years later? I'm bad at math. 30 years later. I just thought that was a very, very vulnerable performance.
But then she was like pretty much stripped down completely, and then her son comes on stage like 2 seconds later, and you're like, okay, that's weird.
And didn't she combine it with Love Spent on some of the shows? I just thought that was a beautiful performance.
She did in New Orleans. I've seen the tour 3 times. I saw it in Texas here, and I saw it in Kansas. And all 3 shows she did do that. She combined the 2 together.
I know this is like months from now, but I did love the MDNA tour. I just thought
I like it because it was free tickets.
Well, that's always a good.
To be inside the Golden Triangle
at like midnight. Everyone was like, "Really?"
I know.
Yep.
The night I saw her in Miami, she didn't go on until 11:40, and I had to be at work in Tampa the next day, like 9 a.m. So I had to drive overnight back to Like a Virgin. Any thoughts on the song Like a Virgin before we move forward?
I think I've overheard it in my life. I sometimes skip it. I truly do. And it's not that I don't like it. I'm done with it. And I'd rather focus on other songs on the album, actually.
It's kind of like a When Doves Cry of the Madonna world.
I love When Doves Cry.
I do too. And of course, we got to mention the MTV performance, which, she thought, didn't someone say that her career was over? And that's actually when her career really began, I feel like, is when that dress came up and you saw her G-string there or whatever. Those things.
There's an interview about that where she said that Freddie said that her career was going to be over after she did, and it was the biggest thing. Yeah. I mean, I wasn't around. I mean, I was little, I was maybe 1 or 2 years old, but I remember watching interviews about that, and he said that Freddie told her that her career was going to be over, but it wasn't. It was the biggest talk about the next day.
I miss Freddie DeMann.
I do too.
I was gonna say Freddie the Man.
And then of course on the VMAs in 2002 or
2003
is when she brought Like a Virgin back with Christina and Britney.
No, that was hot.
That was hot. She did it with Hollywood. So I mean, there's just so many iconic versions of Like a Virgin. We could just talk about this song for hours probably, but we won't.
Thank God.
Now you like a Virgin better than I Know It, don't you? Don't make that guy comment on
that's
this.
True. No. Like a Virgin, for me, I don't hate it. I love it.
They played this
Great
song. If you listen to the radio, like back in the day, they played it to death. I mean,
Exactly.
there wasn't as much choice as there is now in the world. So you basically just turned on the radio, and like we're all from different places, and we all had that same experience because it was just everywhere. I mean,
it's oversaturated for me, and I love it to death. And I'll hear it here, like, you know, getting ready for this podcast. I heard it multiple times, and I was like, don't skip it. You need to hear it. Don't skip it. So it's like.
Now, I do feel like a lot of Madonna's early music is very timeless, but I do feel the song Like a Virgin is a little dated.
definitely.
I can see that. I can see that, yeah.
So my brother doesn't like Madonna at all. And so growing up together, you know, we were like 5 or like 6 or 7 or whatever when this was out. And it made me realize how much they played, how popular she was. Because every time she came on the radio, my brother was like, fuck, I hate this. And yeah, it was everywhere, inescapable all the time. So I can imagine if you didn't like Madonna, you really were hurting.
Well, they're lost.
We used it in a derogatory way at one point with my cousin because he really liked this girl. It was like freshman year. And he always, you know, put up this talk a big talk and a big game, you know, about, you know, sleeping around with girls. And he had this one, that one, when it turned out that he was a virgin.
Ooh,
And, you know, we found out, and then, you know, he was like, I really like this girl, but I'm going to tell you guys something. We're like, what? He was like, I'm a virgin. So after that, we started singing that to him, and he'd get fucking pissed. So we're like, a virgin. And he'd be like,
so, we must also mention that Weird Al did Like a Surgeon. So you know,
Oh, that's true.
Like a surgeon, yes.
And that was Weird Al was the first concert I ever went to, and we went and we were sitting in the front row, and he did Like a Surgeon, and he comes out at the end and like gets like right at our feet and is like rolling around on the ground during the end of that song.
And remember, Lola wears that outfit in the Celebration video.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Keep her off of Instagram, right? Okay, moving on.
She went in on my friend. I was so shook.
Was it that mean comment
hard
that
candy.
was it the mean comment she said about something about hard candy? And she goes,
Yeah, that was my friend.
Oh,
and
I
I
think-
was like,
and she said, I think she said, does your mom know you don't wash your ass?
Oh yeah, you don't wash your...
Like, as far as comebacks go, it's not like the biggest burn I've ever heard. No.
Did she say someone's mother sucks wild dick?
Yeah, she did. She did. I had to screenshot that one.
Lola.
I was reading those comments and thinking, she went to like university, right? Like she finished high school, right?
Well, moving on. Over and over. Not a single, but
Oh, it
But
was
it
a
should have
single.
been.
It was released in Italy.
oh, in Italy, but not in the United States.
No. That thing is really expensive to buy. Very
Is it?
expensive. Yeah.
I love Over and Over. I feel like this song like captures the Madonna spirit, and it does have the Cher voice, you guys. The Cher voice is back.
Yeah.
And now go out in the street, yeah. So, how does everyone feel about Over and Over?
should have been.
I like it. It's different.
I'm on the fence with it. I like it. I don't hate it. It's not like, it's not on the level of I know it, but I like it. It's just it doesn't really always speak to me. But again, it does have that, you know, fast, you know, new wave Carlton dance vibe. But I like it. I just don't love it.
I'm all about upbeat Madonna. In fact, like, you know, Love Don't Live Here Anymore to me was like, oh, it's too slow. I want like something dancier, you know. So a song like Over and Over, I'm all in.
And it really did
And-
great on the You Can Dance remix.
I was just gonna say that right now. The You Can Dance version is so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember this. She at the end of this. This was the one where she. 'Cause my sister is a huge fan of Blondie, and you know Madonna kind of, sort of, might have pseudo ripped off the end of the the Blondie song Sunday Girl, where she's chirping "Hurry up, hurry up." It's sort of.
Oh,
yeah.
I haven't thought about that.
Yeah, and I remember reading later, you know, as about someone asked Deborah Harry about that, and she said, you know, like were you excited that Madonna kind of paid homage to you and her song? She's like, yeah, I was excited about the homage, but a check would have been nicer.
I feel like Debbie Harry will never forgive Madonna. Like, she's still mad that Madonna came along. I feel like.
Right.
You sure that's not Cyndi Lauper?
Yeah, I was about to say that. Yeah.
I love Cindy and Debbie, for the record.
I love them. I
do too.
Yeah, we love them all, and we will discuss them all as the years go by. But there's only, like Madonna says on MDNA, there's only one Madonna, or whatever she says. There's only one queen. That's Madonna, bitch. Louis, do you have anything to add? I want to put you on the spot. All right, I'll just take it. You'll and jump in when you
he
feel
missed.
inspired.
He missed when we mentioned Material Girl and what was the other one?
That was
Talking
it.
about
Material Girl.
Came
He
in
came
on
in
Angel.
Okay, he came in on Angel. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, over and over, just an ambitious song. Did she write it with Stephen Bray, or was this a Madonna? Did she write it by herself? Let me look. I'm interested to know. Ooh, my eyesight is not what it used to be. Madonna and Stephen Bray. So yes, this was a Stephen Bray song. All right. Well, side one of the record ended with a cover song, which was originally recorded by Rose Royce in the 70s. It's Madonna giving a chance to show her vocal chops and do.
Her voice comes out in this one too.
Yeah, it sure does.
She did good. I like her performance of this song. She was good.
Crazy for You was a hit, but this was recorded before Crazy for You, I think. Like, this came out first. So this is
a good year.
Would you say this is the first Madonna ballad?
It is. It truly is.
She definitely sold it. Like, she really gave it her all. She's feeling this performance. I always thought it was weird that she released it as a single from Something to Remember.
No, it was released in Japan.
Right.
As a 7-inch. It's
But
got a pretty cover to it.
She released it in.
Released it in the U.S., I think, because there was a single for it. It had
96.
like a soft remix of it or something. It was like something really slight.
Yeah.
But they used the original.
The black and white photo.
Right. And they have the video where they keep panning in on her. She's just like standing against a pillar, and the whole video is like.
I think she was pregnant with Lola, and they wouldn't showing her stomach.
Okay.
Yeah, I love that song. I love Don't Live Here Anymore. I love the original version by Rose Royce. I like
exactly.
how
So do I.
been done.
Rose Royce is very underrated.
I think it's
I like when she did the Rebel Heart tour with it.
Oh yeah, that was cool that she brought this back.
She combined two songs together, but it wasn't released on the DVD.
Did she do this for Heartbreak City?
Yes.
Who was the vocalist for Rose Royce? I don't remember off the top of my head.
I'm sorry?
Maybe Louis might know. Louis, do you know?
The vocalist in Rose Royce?
Who was the female vocalist on Rose Royce?
I can't think of the name right now.
Oh my God, I forgot her name, but yeah.
Okay.
Was it somebody that went on to do anything solo though? I feel
no.
Like
when she was done, she was done.
Oh wow.
It's interesting in this recording. It's probably Madonna's one of her most dramatic vocal performances of her entire career. At the end of the song, she sounds like she's actually crying. She's like,
yeah.
She's a performance artist.
Yeah.
I love her
singer's name
cover.
is Gwen Dickey.
Okay. I loved her cover. I prefer the one on Something to Remember, the ballad compilation better.
The remix?
The remix, yeah. The modern remix was better. And plus it had a video. So this one didn't have a video.
Didn't you think it was weird they used her original vocal though? I just thought that was a weird choice. Instead of having
I thought that too. I was like, is she like is it the same voice?
Yeah, it is the same voice.
I was like, I didn't hear too much of a difference in the inflections of her voice. So that's something I always wondered about. So that's crazy. But I like that version better.
I personally didn't love it. I didn't want to slow Madonna, but I think it's a bad choice of a cover for her. I think she could have done because I kind of feel like it shows her limitations in her voice and like not one of her stronger songs. But I mean, over the years, I've grown to love it more. I like the original version by Rose Royce better, but
I've always been kind of a dramatic person, so I did appreciate the drama that she brought to the song. That beginning, the do like,
Yeah.
this is
To my
weird
knowledge, it
song.
wasn't originally going to be part of the album. I think I forgot who it was that suggested it to her and Niall, and then Niall kept pushing for it,
Right.
for her to do it. He's like, I think this will be great because it's completely different from everything else you've done. It'll show more soulful side of you. That kind of stuff he was telling her, and they went for it. And she was already a huge fan of that song, and she was a huge fan of Rolls Royce, so that's why she did it.
Well, definitely put some humanity into the album and did kind of expand the sound. So, all right, I'm going to
the lady to goodbye.
welcome back to Phonogenics 101. We're about to tackle Madonna's Like a Virgin, side 2. So you flip over the vinyl, you hear it goes right into Dress You Up. I put my money on it the first time I heard this song. I knew it was going to be a hit. It just sounded like a hit, and it was a hit. The iconic live version from the Virgin tour. I always associate Dress You Up with that jacket she was wearing. Is that the one where she threw up the tambourine? And I was always so worried she wasn't going to catch it. She always caught it.
It's in your background, Jeff.
And before anyone else talks about Dress You Up, this may be Madonna's best Cher vocal of all time. All over your body.
Oh, wait.
So,
in the sky,
what does everyone have to say about Dress You
Up?
I love it.
Great song.
Yeah, she's done a lot of iconic versions of this one too, and I feel this is one that whenever she sang it on tour, she always seemed so comfortable singing it. I don't know what it was about it. I loved the version she did on the Ellen show a few years ago with Ellen. It was just, it's another example of where she'll take a song that's like interesting in one way and she makes it humorous or is able to laugh at herself. It was great.
I hated the Who's That Girl tour version though, where she had all that garbage on her thing came out of the phone booth. I'm like, this is not cute, Madonna. I'm not feeling this one.
Jeremy, did you see the Rubber Heart tour in the beginning where she did a medley of Everybody, Dress You Up, Into the Groove, and there was another song. No, she did another song, but then she cut the other two songs out. Which
I saw it in Miami, so I can't remember.
I saw it in Miami too, and
we probably had the same show.
Yeah, probably where she did "Don't Cry for Me, Argentina" as her special song. No, I love that performance because I like when she brings back song because it had been 800 years since she performed "Dress You Up" in any tour, so it was like I love when she brings out like that. That was a huge song.
Now, was it a wooden necklace version, like a rock version, or was she actually doing the song?
No. It was. You know what? Because she was in Miami, it was very flamenco and very Spanish.
Yeah.
That's right. Because wasn't there a wooden necklace version of Dress You Up? I feel like she did like a rock version on one tour.
She did it for the Sweet and Sticky tour.
Right.
In 2009 in Europe.
Oh yeah, she was like doing rock versions on that tour, I think.
And she did the same thing for Borderline.
Borderline, yeah.
Because I remember it's like she's like Borderline motherfucker. Like I'm like Madonna.
I remember that.
I'm like Madonna, don't disrespect Borderline, even though it's your song. But yeah, I can do without the wooden necklace Madonna rock versions for sure.
Wooden necklace.
I've Courtney loved the thing for that one.
Wooden necklace. We got the Cher voice and the wooden necklace version.
The Cher voice freaking kills me. Oh my god! And now I'll never listen to Madonna the same way again. So thank you for that.
Yeah, and after I post this, there goes all my Patreon subscribers. They're gonna be like, "This is the most garbage podcast I've ever listened to."
Ian's gonna come for you real soon.
He's like, "You're too young to know about the wooden necklace, bitch." Oh, you guys are making me laugh. So, Dress You Up.
Mm-hmm.
Here's the 12-inch single, which had a great. I did like the extended version of Dress You Up.
Very good.
And this had Shooby Doo on the B-side, which we're coming to next. Where did? Okay, never mind. I'm jumping ahead of myself. Does anyone have any thoughts on "Dress You Up"?
It's one of my favorites. I love it. It's one of my favorites, and we can't forget it was one of the Filthy 15, and why we got the parental advisory sticker on albums.
Oh yeah.
And Frank Zappa
Tipper
fought
Gore
for that. He fought against that, and he fought for Prince. He fought for Madonna. He wanted, and this guy, the lead singer of Twisted Sister,
Dee Snider.
Yeah.
Dee Snider, who helped, a good friend of Taylor Dane's, and he gave Taylor Dane her stage name. They both were in Congress and in the courts.
Trader Dane.
Trader. So it's one of the Filthy 15 songs that they wanted a band from everywhere, and
Was Like a Virgin on the Filthy 15 or no?
I don't remember. I know She Bop. I remember She Bop was on there, Cyndi Lauper. And Sugar Walls.
Sugar Walls. I
Sugar
remember
Walls.
Sugar Walls.
And Darling Nikki, I think.
I think Darling Nikki was number 1.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. That was the song that kicked that just sent her to hell, and she was like,
I remember being a kid with the lyric sheet. I'm like, what is masturbating? I don't understand this word here.
Bitch, I didn't even know what a virgin was, but I was screaming it out. I'm like a virgin. And my mom was like, please shut up.
I still don't know what a virgin is. So yeah, Dress You Up. And it's interesting because the 3 biggest singles from this album were all written by other people, right? Material Girl, Like a Virgin, and Dress You Up were all brought in from outside writers. But she had a really good ear, and so did Nile Rodgers, for a real monster hit song. And from this point forward, Madonna basically wrote all of her material, didn't she? I mean,
yes.
She would do the occasional cover, but I think after this album, the hits kind of came from her, or other people wrote them, and she just wormed her way into the songwriting credits. Because I think
Papa Don't pull up Beyonce.
Papa Don't Preach had like the additional lyrics by Madonna, but we're jumping ahead.
Yeah, when she's like, ooh, they're like, yeah, you co-write.
Yeah.
You can't.
Do we have any thoughts on Dress You Up? I mean, we all love it, right?
Yeah. Great.
I love it. It's a classic. I mean, it's undeniable.
Yeah.
It's so her. Nobody else can do it.
No one else can do it. And it captures just that energy that's kind of in those photos in the Madonna Adore book. You know what I mean? Like, it's just...
Yes. I love her makeup during that time. I love her with heavy makeup. That 80s heavy makeup and the purple and green and blue eyeshadows, yellow.
A little fat on her stomach. Like, I liked her a little bit thicker. You know what I mean?
Yeah. She had baby fat.
I liked it. I thought it was very...
She had cute curves. Cute.
And she kind of got to eat for the first time.
Yeah. I thought it gave a really strong message about, the female body. It doesn't have to be a certain way to be beautiful.
I mean, everybody was dressed like that.
And I think I mentioned this in the last podcast, but I'll never forgive that bitch from Katrina and the Waves. Oh, Madonna's a flash in the pan. I remember her saying that. Where's Katrina now? We're not doing a podcast on her damn album, Walking in Sunshine.
Oh my God.
Poor Katrina.
Poor Katrina. She shouldn't talk bad about Madonna. Where's Ian? Where's Ian to fix her? Okay. So the album has 3 more songs on it, which were all written by Madonna. The album kind of closes out with a trio of Madonna self-written tracks. The next song, Shooby Doo, I believe, was only written by Madonna. Let me take a look and see if my memory serves me correctly.
While you're finding that, I will just point out that these last 3 songs to me are very kind of weak.
Yeah, they are. They're trash.
I disagree.
I love them, but they're definitely like, I don't want to say filler tracks, but they're
filler.
They're filler.
Yes.
It's hard.
I mean, Material Girl, Like a Virgin, Dress You Up, Shooby Doo.
Like, let me tell you, I love Shooby Doo to death. It brings back beautiful memories, but I know it's trash. I'll admit it. I'll be the first one to say it. You know what I mean? So it's.
I love Shooby Doo. I think it's so like soulful. It's very breezy. When that drum kicks in, it's very 50s.
Yeah, I thought it was a cover. I thought it was a cover, and it turns out that it's not. So.
I just have one thing to say about Shooby Doo. Come to me, baby.
Oh God, I knew you would come there.
Wait, is Scooby Doo the I Know It of Like a Virgin?
I like
that would be Stay.
Oh no, I love Stay.
What?
Not after
I
I
like
heard
it
the
too.
demo.
I like it.
Not after
Yeah.
I heard the demo.
I heard the demo. Me neither.
Yeah, the demo is better, but I like both.
See, the demo should have been on the first album, replacing I Know It.
All right, I agree with
That
that.
would have fit perfectly.
Well, we're skipping ahead. Scooby Doo. I just think it's a really cute song. It's just like you roll down the windows in your car. I don't put it in any category with I Know It. Like to me, it's like I Know It, then like Scooby Doo's. Like I love Scooby. I remember singing it in the pool in 4th grade, trying to hide my titties because they were bigger than all the other boys. I didn't want all the kids to make fun of me.
I'm like, here. Oh.
So, is this all we have to say about Scooby Doo?
Well, it's trash, but it's good trash. It's like I like I said, sometimes when you hear stuff like this, it'll take you right back to where you were at. So I remember just let me tell you, I loved it as a kid. As an adult, I'm like, damn, I have horrendous taste. This is shit. What's wrong with me?
You know what I love about this song? And I said this in our last podcast. The thing I miss most about Madonna's newer albums is those great backup parts that she used to really have in there.
Yeah, the vocals. Yeah.
So like, I can't take it anymore. Like I always sing the backup parts in the song.
Yeah.
And I miss those backup harmonies that they really were part of the Madonna sound all the way through, even to like Ray of Light, maybe. You know what I mean? Well, I guess we have nothing else to say about Scooby Doo. I love it. But, it might not be a dress you up, but it certainly is not an I Know It. And that's all I have.
Exactly. So it's not an I Know It. I don't care for it. I don't hate it like you, but I don't care for it either.
Do you skip it when you
I
listen
can
to
easily
it?
skip it. I usually do.
Okay.
I always skip it. Yeah.
Yeah, for me, I turn it off after Dress You Up.
I'll listen to Scooby Doo and then that's it.
Well, I'm ready to just wrap this up right now with all this negativity, because the next song we're about to talk about is Pretender, which, do you know how many terrible men I've dated in my life? I have a history of having terrible taste in men. And do you know how many times I put on Pretender?
I love this song. It's up there for me with Angel and the others. Like, to me, that song is up there for me. I know it was not a single, it wasn't like a big deal, but I love the song. I like how it has that lower frequency, almost like early freestyle vibe. It's very similar to the song on Brenda K. Starr's first album, called Boys Like You, which is the same theme as Pretender. It's, guys that lie and cheat and play with your head, and it's very similar sounding, and I like it. I like that song, and we can all relate to it. I believe. I know I can.
I should have stopped him, but I knew it wouldn't last. You know, one thing that's really specific to Madonna and her songwriting is I feel like Madonna, and this is something that's never really talked about, is she writes the best bridges in her songs.
Yeah.
Like, she does, a lot of people can do a great verse in the chorus. But like, when you think of Causing a Commotion or Who's That Girl?
No. Live to Tell. The bridge on Live to Tell ends careers.
Yeah.
Like, and if anybody wants to talk shit about my bitch and her songwriting, listen to Live to Tell. You gonna tell me another bitch could write some shit like this?
No.
Don't even go there.
Didn't Pretender have a really good bridge though? Because I can't think of it. I'm trying to look at the lyrics.
Well, as far as the Cher voice, remember in the end when she's like, "Don't know how he got that way." He's a pretender.
Bitch that got away.
I cannot remember the bridge for the life of me, but I swear there's a really good bridge in Pretender. And I don't know why. I'm looking at the lyric sheet. Let me.
Yeah, I'm like, he had a way of making me believe.
He had that format with her bridges that, like, when I first started writing music, I copied that all the time, where it was like, you know, verse, chorus, bridge, chorus, bridge, outro, right? It was like,
Right.
did it over and over and over again. And I think probably part of the reason she did it is because her bridges were like the catchiest part of the song.
And here's the bridge.
I got it. I'm not afraid to fall 100 times.
Yeah, that's the bridge.
Okay,
And
yeah.
I believe in all your silly lies. I'd like to think that I can change your mind. Don't say that
I am blind.
I know all
about
about your kind.
Your kind. That's it. And then you lied.
You lied was cool. That's the coolest part of the song. I like
That is.
that. Was
Yeah.
That's a good part.
you know?
The song is so dark. Like it's very like
Yes, that's why I like it. It's so dark and moody.
it's
so,
dreary.
Like, it's very, I don't know, it just has, it kind of reminded me of her gritty New York first album. So it kind of vibes with that to me. Like, I don't know.
Can you think
like
of any
those
Madonna
songs.
song that sounds like Pretender? Because I can't.
Not that I can think of.
But
To me,
each album is different.
Yeah.
That sound
Yeah.
is very unique.
but to
slow-
me, it can easily blend in. To me, it'll blend in with something like Physical Attraction or something like that, or Everybody. Like, I don't know, but it's just slower pace, but it's just that dark, moody. I that's what I like about it.
Reatron, what were you saying?
it's like it does, like, to me, one thing that it does have in common, right? You're saying what other Madonna songs are like it. You know, she a lot of times she would write songs where she would state the name of the song and then have do it 4 times in a row, right? So it's kind of like a Gambler, or she had a few songs like that, right? Yeah, I hear it musically as like a ballad version of Gambler with chords slightly inverted.
And I love Gambler and I love Pretender. Because I didn't have Gambler. My uncle had the Vision Quest soundtrack on tape. I remember sitting with the Walkman, like rewinding Gambler over and over and over. You remember the Virgin Tour performance where she had the black sunglasses on, like the strobe light? Yeah. I wanted to bring Gambler back.
Is that Gambler playing in his video behind him?
Is that Gambler?
It looks like it.
Right there.
I think it is.
That was the outfit.
That was the outfit. Work it, Madonna.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. All right, so the album ends with the song that we all agreed we like the demo version better, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Well, I like both versions, but
I like both
I agree
versions.
with him. I agree with him.
I do love the demo version of it because, and I have to say, I almost always gravitate towards the ones that she wrote, right? Like, but I really like the song "Stay." There's something about it where I like there's a looseness about it that I can't quite explain. The way that she kind of sings the second, like, right? She's just so open. And, the lyrics, she doesn't adhere strictly to a melody. She's a little bit looser with it. And I thought that those kind of drum beats at the beginning are really distinctive. The do, 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 right? So I don't know. I kind of always loved this song. Now you guys got me feeling my taste is shit again.
No, I like the version of Stay.
Last time they ganged
It's subjective.
I needed you to like tell them that I know it is not that bad.
I feel like Stay almost had like a knock on wood kind of shuffle to it a little bit.
Yes. Amy Stewart.
Yeah. And
Okay, yeah.
and
Yeah.
The beginning part,
if
definitely.
we want to get technical, didn't the demo of a song called Don't You Know have the lyrics that became Stay? You made my life much brighter.
I have to say, "Stay" is not a song I've listened to a lot over the years. I just have never liked it. I don't know why.
Really?
I don't care for it either. The demo, yes, I actually listen to that regularly.
That's like a dream
The
pop
demo
song.
is a completely different song. And Jeremy, you mentioned something about ethereal sounding. It was just different. It's such a good song. Like the way she sings it, the way the music is, and her vocal, just everything about the demo version is
Is that
completely
on
different.
Prima Donna?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, I have that CD. I'll have to check it out.
Oh, that demo version's gorgeous.
Child.
It's
But
gorgeous.
the thing is,
That's
for
what I was
me,
about to say. I was like, see, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous.
what leaves me in shock is that she went from this demo and then she ended up with that. And I'm like, how did you get to that from the demo?
Exactly.
I agree.
It
But
was
she
just
used
like it's two different songs.
Yeah, it's
It
not
truly
really
is.
a demo. I think you're right. I think it's a totally different song. She just at that time she just crossed over the lyrics, right? The way she wrote songs a lot of the times was that the producer would create the track, right? And then she would sing the top line over it. So my guess is that that Niall came to her with the track for Stay, and she just started riffing lyrics that she already had, and it turned into a different thing.
Yeah, because the lyrics are from the Don't You Know demo, but the chorus is from the Stay demo, if we want to get technical.
Yeah.
So you guys don't feel like Scoot Scootily Dee Bop is a good lyric? I don't care. I was 9 years old. I was singing along to that loud and proud.
But we don't have taste at that age. So
Oh yeah, Ian did put that in our comments. He's clearly not one of my Patreon subscribers. I was gonna make a point, but I lost it about Stay.
It'll come back to you.
I'll have to send Jeffrey the link to the demo of that so you can hear it.
Yeah, we do have a Facebook chat going on, so if anyone's not in the chat. I remember what I was gonna say, and don't get mad, everybody, but that feeling of like, how could she do this to the demo? It was like foreshadowing of what happened in the Rebel Heart era.
No, always. Because when she stripped Avicii Productions,
that was the biggest heartbreak in my life, and that's like months from now. But I'm still hurting.
And then Jeffrey, you had shared the demos from the other day, right? With us.
Ray of Light.
Yeah.
Ray of Light, yeah. And I heard the other versions of some of the songs, and I'm like, why didn't they use like some of these sounds and some of that style of the songs? Like, to me, they were better.
Yeah, Eric, you're not in our chat, but I don't know if you got a hold of this, but the unedited version of Ray of Light just leaked with like the 8-minute versions of all the songs, and they're amazing.
Oh, wow.
They're amazing.
Yeah, I've listened to it a couple times and I'm really enjoying it. I haven't enjoyed a Madonna thing in such a long time. It's like it reminds me of this era when it was just like everything was just so good. Even these 3 songs that I don't care for, they're still like, the classic sound, and I mean, she sounds good, and it's a good song. It's just they're less good than like Dress You Up and Like a Virgin and Material.
Can we do a controversial around the circle before we wrap this up? Because to me, Madonna's the top tier by far. And her music had like a quality that was unmatchable. When did that end for you? Or has it not? For me, I think Confessions was the last album that I felt was at gold sterling level. But, that's just my opinion. Where does everyone else feel? We'll go around the circle.
Ray of Light.
Ray of Light?
Because I think music had a bunch of songs that I thought were weak. And then Confessions, I wanted to like it. And I just thought it was like not like dancing enough. I felt like it was more like downbeat, like late night kind of vibe. And it's like called Confessions on a Dance Floor. It was like, I don't know. I felt the title didn't match, but that's my opinion. I do like comment though.
For me, I have to say I kind of like I weaned off with Madonna with Ray of Light as well. It's not my favorite album. It was just so for me. There's a lot of great songs on it. I love a couple of songs on it, but after Ray of Light, I was like, American Life, I
love American Life.
And then Confessions is when it came back for me. So I agree with you, Jeremy. Like, that's when like everything that was in black and white turned into hot pink and color for me. Like, I was like, Madonna's back. Like, back to the old school flavor Madonna. That's how I felt with Confessions, and then from there on, it's been pretty good, I think.
Do we have thoughts from Reatron or Eric?
Well, I love Ray Light. It's my favorite album. I just remember being 18, cutting the grass, and asking my mom for some money to go get that album when we used to have music stores.
Yeah.
I was so excited. But a lot of people say after she did Hard Candy, they stopped being fans because it's different. But I like Madam X. It's different also. But to this day, if she still make music until she's 85 years old, I would still buy it. I'm still a fan. I'm a fan for life. I don't have any tattoos, but I'm a fan. I'm a loyal fan.
I'm there with you too. I don't like she could shit on a record and I'll buy 3 copies of it. Like I don't really care. To me, I find greatness in everything she comes out with. Like I'm still critical on some shit she does, but sure. I'm like, there's some tracks on Madam X I live for. There's some tracks on Rebel Heart. Like, let me tell you, the greatness of those demos coming out, because some of those demos were really great.
That could have been her best album ever, I feel like. I know we're jumping ahead, but
I was like, first of all, as a Madonna fan, you had a couple of, demos and stuff like that, but bitch had like 40 demos. I was like, oh my God, every day during that span of like 3 weeks, there was some new shit coming out and I was just losing it because I'm like, oh my God. It was just like to hear, like I would go to Jeff and I'm like, I would send Jeff like CDs of the demos. I'm like, oh my God, you have to hear this one. Oh no, this one is so good. Oh my God, this came out. I was like, it's amazing because I got to see the process of what she did to come up with an album. So
how to ruin a song.
that too,
Not changing the subject, but did you listen to Across the Sky on? It was supposed to be on Hard Candy.
Yes,
it's such a good song. Why wasn't that on an album?
There's a lot of demos that have popped up in the last, I guess, 5, 10, 15 years that you're like, why is this not on this album? And we get songs like, I don't know, Birthday Song or some Spanish lesson.
Yeah, I didn't like Birthday Song.
Correct.
Birthday Song's the worst. Me and Reatron went through the Rebel Heart demo leaks together, didn't we? I feel like we talked about it a lot at the time.
Yeah, I mean, we I think you might have even been the one that sent that to me. Like, and it was a long time before the album came out.
Yeah,
we were just obsessed. But see, for me, like, Rebel Heart was a big comeback, right? And like. We were like so far off of Like a Virgin now.
I know.
I would still say, like, to me, if Rebel Heart, if you took, it's a double album, right? If you took it and you cut it down to a single album, so you took the 10 best songs on Rebel Heart, I think it would stand up to like any of her best work. It's just there's just so many good songs in there. That's my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm glad that I'm kind of glad that she. You like she doesn't ever go back to where she was, right? So right. I think we all think that if she made more songs like a Virgin, we would just love them. But I think that what we love about her is that she's a pioneer and she keeps experimenting and searching for new stuff. And maybe the stuff that she does today doesn't feel as relevant. She doesn't land on that same level of relevance that she did once. But I think I look forward to seeing what new experiment she's going to come up with. Because even if I hate it, it's like a journey you go on with her where you're like, wow, she really did that, or she tried that, or whatever, right?
Let's be honest. Nothing sounds like Dark Ballet. You know what I mean? Like, she's still making songs that sound nothing like anyone's ever done. Like, has anyone ever done a song like Dark Ballet?
No, who is sampling Tchaikovsky in a song? You know what I mean? Who's doing that? Nobody's doing that.
I think that would actually be great without the vocoder. The vocoder ruins it for me. And I actually like the songs though, but the vocoder, like, I think she ruins like every song pretty much.
Unapologetic bitch.
Oh my God, that's I was going through a lawsuit with my family at the time, and every morning I woke up and put on Unapologetic Bitch, and that song got me through that era. But I guess we're jumping ahead by months and months. I'm gonna wrap up the podcast, but I'm gonna pause it so we can still chat for a minute after I wrap it up.
Okay.
So everybody, thank you for joining us in discussing Like a Virgin. We'll be back to talk about True Blue next month. Make sure to like Phonogenics 101 on YouTube, Jeremy Gloff's Patreon, if you'd like to support this, and we'll see you on Facebook, social media. This has been a great time. See you all soon.